will never emotionally fulfill you. Ever. Know that.
This is Dee. Welcome back to my channel. And if you are new to this channel, welcome. Well, guys, I'm back. And in today's video, I'm going to discuss 3 ladies who have, in the words of Andy Cohen, dipped into the lady pond and the circumstances surrounding each woman, because these are 3 different women in 3 very different stages of life. You have Kyle Richards, 54-year-old married mother of 4. You have Jay-Z's mother, Gloria, 72-year-old mother of 4. And lastly, 41-year-old divorcee, Chrishell Strause from Selling Sunset. The 3 of them have shown up in this world as heterosexual straight women, and yet all 3 of them have entered into intimate relationships with women, with Chrishell and Gloria actually married to women, and Kyle allegedly involved with a woman as well, to the extent that it has compromised her marriage. In this video, I did my makeup while sharing my thoughts on these relationships, as well as the various stages of life for these women that may have been the catalyst for their openness to entering into relationships with women, or finally having the courage to live their truth. So, without further ado, let's get into it. So this week, the news broke that Kyle and her husband, Mauricio, had separated, and they were well on their way to divorce. This came as not only a surprise, but a, disappointment, and it saddened a lot of people, because, Kyle has been on the Housewives of Beverly Hills, from the beginning. She's the OG, and they had, what has been a very solid marriage. Now, the next day, of course, Kyle and Mauricio issued a joint statement denying that they were divorcing. This is a sample of a Sephora foundation that I wanted to try, so that's what I'll be using. They denied that they were divorcing, but also acknowledged that the last year has been a very challenging, the most challenging, in their words, in their 27-year marriage. Over the years, there had been rumors about Kyle and Mauricio's marriage, which they always denied. And really, you guys, I don't think there was much to them at that time, because, there was never anything that was substantiated. And, the rumor was always that Mauricio was, sort of made it be creeping on her. But nothing that way, there was never any scandal, nothing that was ever substantiated. And all in all, they seemed like a very happy couple. But when the news broke of their marital issues, the immediate response by a lot of people was to go to the video, the episode of The Real Housewives, I believe, from 2013, where this medium, Allison, basically predicted a divorce for Mauricio and Kyle.
Have you been married twice? Oh, well then that's the last one you have. I guess that's good news. I was thinking she was going to have to get married again, which meaning you'd have a divorce.
Now, one of the things Allison had said in this dinner from hell was that Mauricio would never emotionally fulfill her. And I think that emotional fulfillment is the common thread in all of these relationships. In these three relationships, the desire for emotional fulfillment, I believe, is the common thread. After Allison made that statement about Mauricio and Kyle's marriage, Kyle, well, snapped on her. Because another thing that made this very interesting for me is the fact that, Kyle does not play when it comes to Mauricio. Kyle will cut a bitch over Mauricio.
If my husband ever leaves me, I'm going with him.
But over the last year, Kyle has garnered a lot of attention for her appearance, so the changes in her appearance. She's lost a lot of weight. She has gotten super fit. She looks better than ever. And a lot of people, or at least some people, have accused her of being on Ozempic, where she says absolutely not. She's just been dieting and exercising. Awesome. When someone makes drastic changes to their appearance and changes their lifestyle for better or for worse, it's because typically something triggers it, right? There's a catalyst for it. Maybe a health scare or something of that nature, right? But more often than not, when someone, makes a drastic change in their appearance, their lifestyle, more often than not, it's because of someone, not something. A breakup, the revenge body, the man who is, having an affair and he wants to look younger, loses weight all of a sudden, that sort of thing. It's typically, often triggered by someone rather than something. Enter Morgan Wade. Now, Morgan Wade is a country singer. She is 28. Kyle is 54. They became friends early 2022, and they began spending a lot of time together. I mean, constantly on Instagram together, going to events together, going to concerts, all of that. And, that raised a few eyebrows because, well, it seems like she was spending more and more time with Morgan and less time with Mauricio. So when this story broke of their separation and possible divorce, a lot of people pointed to this relationship with Morgan as the reason that Kyle was having an affair with Morgan. And that was the reason that she and Mauricio were divorcing. She was leaving Mauricio for a woman. Kyle has subsequently denied that relationship. She has said that she and Morgan are just friends.
Are you dating Morgan Wade? No? Very good friends. So you guys are very good friends?
However, despite her denial, a lot of people, including myself, don't quite buy it. Why? Because it turns out that Morgan and Kyle have tattoos. They have matching tattoos. They have matching rings. Now, if Scandal has taught us nothing, it is where there is smoke, there is fire. Tom and Raquel have had matching lightning bolt necklace. That is not the behavior of people who are just friends. And as it turns out, they weren't just friends. For a married woman or a person in a relationship to have that sort of intimate connection with a person outside of their marriage, to me, is very suspect. It crosses a line into, if nothing else, an emotional affair. But why? What is it about this stage in Kyle's life that may have left her open to exploring, a relationship with a woman? One of the things that Allison, the medium, said was this:
as soon as the kids are bigger, you'll have nothing in common.
And in my opinion, this rings true. Kyle has always been very much a devoted, hands-on mother. But her children are grown now. Even the youngest, Portia, is entering to high school. She's not a kid anymore. And I think that has left a void for her, a void in their lives as a couple. Because if you think about it, Kyle and Mauricio don't seem to have any real shared interest beyond their family, unlike, say, like a Ken and Lisa Vanderpump. So I believe that as the children have gotten older, as Allison said, they have simply grown apart. I believe she, could have gone through something of a midlife crisis, void in her marriage, as well as the empty nest syndrome left Kyle susceptible or very much open to this relationship with Morgan. I think that ultimately Kyle was looking for emotional intimacy. An intimacy she just happened to have found with a woman, allegedly. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out with Kyle and Mauricio. They say they have no plans to divorce, but time will tell on that one. Okay, so let's move on to Jay-Z's mother, Gloria. Over the weekend, Jay-Z's mother, Gloria, married her a long-time partner. And what makes this story fascinating to me is, and honestly, you guys, uplifting, is imagine, you guys, not being able to be who you are. This woman's 72 years old and basically has had to live a lie. She was married to Jay-Z's father for 13 years until one day he just up and left her to raise 4 kids on her own. When Jay-Z's father left, it put the family pretty much into poverty. Jay-Z grew up in the Marcy projects, and things were very, very tough for them. The mother had to work 2 jobs to try to keep them afloat. Jay-Z, started slinging drugs and the whole nine until he made it, as a rapper, billionaire, and, the man we know today. But throughout his life, his mother basically lived a lie. It wasn't until 2017 that she came out to him. In 2017, that was 6 years ago? She's 72. So at the age of 66, Jay-Z's mother finally revealed to him that she was a lesbian. She is a lesbian. In 2018, Gloria confessed to Jay-Z that she was in love with a woman. Over the weekend, Gloria tied the knot with her longtime partner, Roxanne, in a wonderful star-studded wedding that really touched my heart. And Kyle Richards, who have a mother and wife, a mother of 4, who has always shown up in this world as a heterosexual woman. And Jay-Z's 72-year-old mother, you have a woman who has always been a lesbian, who was forced to show up as a heterosexual straight woman due to fear. But as the saying goes, the truth shall set you free. And in living her truth, Jay-Z's mother, Gloria, is now free. And last but not least, Chrishell, the star of Selling Sunset, who really shocked the world, shocked everyone by entering into a relationship with a woman named G-Flip, and now a marriage. They were married a couple of months ago after dating for a year. Now, prior to her relationship with a G-Flip, Chrishell was married and subsequently divorced to after the divorce, she dated. She's had a couple boyfriends since then. And then she got into a relationship with her co-star slash owner of her real estate agency, Jason. That was a very intense relationship. They were contemplating, having a child together. But Jason is a confirmed bachelor. She thought perhaps he would change. And her desire for children and his not being ready for children led to their breakup. And it was a tough breakup for both of them because they really loved each other. Now, Chrishell met G-Flip, who is a singer from Australia, on a video shoot, and apparently sparks flew. And, Chrishell was a little bit taken aback by that because she'd never had those sort of, feelings for a woman. She'd never been in a same-sex type relationship. Now, according to Chrishell, I think I was probably as surprised as anyone. Nothing has really changed for me. I'm still very attracted to masculine energy and a good human. She said, I heard people talk about these things, meeting same-sex relationships, and they say things like I knew from a young age. And she said, that's not me. I'm just very open to good energy. I find Chrishell's marriage and relationship with G-Flip particularly interesting because you always hear people joke around and say, oh, you've had a bad relationship with a man and you're just so turned off from men and, I'm going to switch to women, ha, ha, ha. But it doesn't exactly work that way, right? Because you like what you like. And if you're not a person who's attracted to women, such as myself, I'm just not attracted to women, it doesn't exactly work that way. Chrishell's breakup with Jason really broke her heart, broke his heart. And I think, while I'm not going to say that, oh, it turned her off men altogether, I mean, that's ridiculous, I do believe that it made her open to the possibilities, whereas she would not have been otherwise. Chrishell has had some really tough relationships with men. Between her divorce and her breakups, Chrishell has been through it. After so many very difficult relationships with men, I believe Chrishell finally decided that love is where you find it. Happiness is where you find it. And in her case, she happened to have found it in a same-sex relationship. And unlike Jay-Z's mother, she did not allow the court of public opinion to dissuade her from living what has now become her truth. She did not allow anyone or anything to block her blessing. Many it comes to a connection, a deep connection that fulfills you emotionally, you don't know what you're missing until you find it. I'm going to finish up and I will be right back. And this is it. This is the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please feel free to share your thoughts on these relationships, what you think of same-sex relationships, if you've ever transitioned as a straight person to a same-sex relationship. If you enjoyed this video, thumbs it up, you guys. Thumbs it up and share it as well. So, till next time. Mwah.